Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. So today's video is really special because we're going to be talking about your superpowers. Let's get straight into the video. So I know that on social media, a lot of times when you're trying to get into content creating or anything along that line, you can get kind of sucked into this whole idea of niching, right? Niching. What is one thing or the one topic that I'm going to talk about that's going to make people know like what I'm passionate about and what really encompasses me. And I'm going to make all these videos about that one thing. And yeah, no. For me, niching is honestly what has kept me from being consistent on YouTube because I feel like I'm passionate about so many different things, right? I feel like I'm passionate about so many different things and I just didn't know how to continually present myself without feeling like I was bouncing around from thing to thing. And I just had all these things that I was like, I want to talk about. So I've heard a lot of good suggestions over the past year when it comes to not niching, right? So think about your niche persona, like what kind of person or what kind of audience do you want? Or things like, okay, well, instead of niching, maybe think about telling a story. So like, as people get to know you, kind of tell the story of your life and then they would just want to follow you. And then I've kind of heard that if you find the right people, no matter what you're talking about, they're going to want to watch you. And I do believe all those things. But one thing I remember, I was listening to like an online conference with Tony Robbins, which is like this really big influencer that's really famous in the business content kind of world. And he basically talked about superpowers and he said, what is your superpower? The thing that people come to you about, the thing that people always say, like, I look up to you for, the thing that you have actually lived through and been through and can talk to, that's your superpower. They did a whole presentation about it, y'all, and I was still confused. I'm like writing notes, like, I like this and I like this. People tell me I'm good at this. People come to me about this and I still did not know. I was like, I'm still confused. I got like 10 superpowers, right? Like I just did not know how to narrow it down. But the other day I looked at my husband and I asked him, I said, babe, what's my superpower? And this was his answer.
The superpower is you authentically being who you are in Christ. You basically just went through this straight line path with God where you're just like, okay, I'm a budget, I'm a steward well, you know, I'm going to save myself from marriage. Like all these things that just seem like unicorn concepts that like I feel like when you post about it, people are just gonna be like, that's kind of impossible. Not saying there's no other women on the server that are doing that. They're definitely there. It's just not a plethora. It almost seems like it's impossible that you did like what you did. So that's your superpower. You just being yourself.
Thank you, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, isn't he sweet? Honestly, when I heard him say that, something clicked in me because it wasn't just one topic he brought up. It was just kind of the whole persona and the whole idea of the kind of person that I am, right? He was like, your superpower is just being you. And not in like the way of like, just do you, no, but like literally being authentically you and presenting as your best self and doing things that other people have not been able to do, not because of my own strength, but because I literally submit my life to the Lord. Doing all these things that other people might find hard or challenging, you've kind of done over the years. And I think that's your superpower. And when he said that to me, I was like, wow, like sometimes it takes the people that are closest to us to point things out for us to realize, oh, like, wow, like I should be proud of myself because of this, or, oh, wow, people have told me they struggled in this area. And this is something that with discipline I've achieved. And not be stingy with that knowledge or not be stingy with that perspective, but share that with other people. So honestly, that's what I'm here to do, right? I'm here to share my most authentic self in Christ with you. Whether that has to do with wellness, whether it has to do with eating healthy, working out, whether it has to do with finances and being debt-free, whether it has to do with beauty and natural hair, whether it has to do with being dark-skinned and looking for makeup and products, whether it has to do with our marriage and healthy communication and my profession and just betting on yourself, whatever it has to do with, I'm just here to show that you literally can live the most abundant life in every aspect of your life. So if you've been here before, you've heard me say your life is totally worth living. And I honestly believe that because I feel like in today's age, with everything going on with social media and just people comparing themselves, depression is high, suicide is high, and just really feeling not that best about your own accomplishments and about yourself is pretty high up there. And I feel like your life is totally worth living. Not in the way of like, oh, I'm getting up and dragging myself out of bed. No, but like really living abundantly in every aspect, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, emotionally, living abundantly, right? The Lord has promised us abundance more than we can think, ask, or imagine. And I know a lot of times in our culture, people kind of equate that to finances or like, you know, monetary gain, which is not That's not what I'm talking about. But it can be, right? That's one of the aspects. But I think just living abundantly in every aspect of your life and really just loving life despite the challenges is the kind of life I want to portray to other people. And that's also the kind of life I want to help other people live. So yeah, what's your superpower? Think about that thing that people come to you for, that people cheer you on for, that people look at you and they're like, ooh, even if somebody says like, ooh, that's kind of weird, but that's cool. Something that represents you. I'm not sure who this video is going to help, but I know for me, I needed that reminder. I needed to ask someone, what is my superpower? What do you see in me that I can share with the world? And honestly, my husband gave me the perfect answer. So I'm going to ask you, what's your superpower? What's something that those closest to you see in you that you can share with the world? Hope this video helps you. Hope you get something out of it, and hope you decide to join the family as we grow together abundantly. Okay, y'all, that's it. Leave any questions, comments, or suggestions down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, turn on notification bell, all that good stuff, but most importantly, say it with me, do not forget that your life is totally worth living. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye!